Vipassana is not about 10 days in silence. That's just a misconception. Take a look around at each other. This is your last chance to look other human beings in the face without cheating for the next 10 days. And I know some of you are cheaters, and you'll do it anyway. But now you can do it legally. Take a good look. This is your team. These are your fellow astronauts. Because the shaman said there are two infinities. There's the infinity without, and there's the infinity within. And over the next 10 days, we're going to be exploring the infinity within. Because what Vipassana is, it's a method to explore yourself. The 10 days, the silence, all the other things, they're just a mechanism we use to keep you in a container. Like in alchemy, in alchemical systems, you need a well-sealed vessel to be able to cook the alma mater, to cook the raw material. The silence, the 10 days, this is your well-sealed vessel. But more importantly, your choice to keep yourself well-sealed, to keep yourself sovereign and closed off, to maintain that sovereignty. That's your well-sealed vessel. So maintain it, because we all know you can't cook things as well with the lid off the pot. We need to boil the water a bit. And that's what we're doing with the silence. That's what we're doing with the 10 days. But Vipassana has nothing to do with that. Vipassana is quite simply the simplest method of meditation that I feel any human has ever come up with. And when it gets described to you how to practice it, if you haven't already practiced it, it will seem so simple that you'll think, how can it do all these things that everyone says it does? But it does, because simplicity is the supreme form of perfection. And I didn't come to Vipassana because of retreats and because of traditions and because of gurus. I personally came to Vipassana because my family was deep in suffering. And it was very obvious to me from a young age how much suffering was a part of the human condition. And later I learned it's not just my family. It's not just people born in poverty, who have addiction in their families, who have suicide, who have other very obvious issues. I remember years later, I was working in the airport when I was at university in a caviar shop. So I got to meet a lot of very wealthy, well-to-do people traveling around the world. A lot of people with platinum cards and black cards. And so I just tried a little experiment. Most people at the airport, they want to connect for a few minutes. So I would talk to them and I would just let them talk and I would listen. And after a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops, if I just let people tell me about their life, every single one of them would start talking about their suffering, their particular brand of pain, what they're dealing with, what they're carrying with them. Because although they were rich, although they were successful, although they may look happy on the surface, they have something in them that also is suffering, their own particular brand of suffering. And they want to talk about it. They want to get it out. And I realized, okay, it's not just me, it's not just my family, it's not just my friends, not just the people that you could consider the underprivileged at the time. It's everyone. Vipassana is the Buddha's answer to how we address that suffering. He was also a very wealthy person, probably something like a billionaire or a trillionaire at the time. He was a prince that renounced his kingdom. And he renounced his kingdom because he saw that suffering was an inherent part of the human condition. And he thought, there's no point me doing anything else until I've figured this out. So he abandoned everything and he went on a wander to see if he could figure it out. And Vipassana is his answer to that. And at the end of this 10 days, you can tell me whether you agree that the Buddha figured it out or not. I personally think he did. And I think he gave us the greatest gift that anyone has ever given to humanity. But this 10 days, for each and every one of you, is all about you. It's all about that journey that you're going to take within. So though you are a team of astronauts, you're all traveling alone, because you can only do it alone. When we founded YogiLab, the original tagline for it was spirituality minus the bullshit, and gurus not necessary. The reason for the second one isn't that there aren't gurus. Some of you may have been lucky enough to meet real gurus. They're out there. Apparently, there's one teaching next door now, blessing people with Shaktipat. And people can do that. They can bend spoons, levitate, do amazing things. Don't believe me, figure it out for yourself. And they can transmute and transmit energy to other people, and it can have an effect. But the reality of the matter is, how's that going to help you? We could all be sitting around taking some ayahuasca right now, and we'd also change our state. We'll do something much simpler. You just eat a bit of sugar, you're going to feel happier for a few minutes. That's what it does. There's a lot of things that we could do right now. Drugs, alcohol, food substances, falling in love, compassion from other people. These will change our state. But when you're alone in the middle of the night, or just on the long road you have to walk for the rest of your life, a guru's not going to save you. And if every time you need to be saved, you have to go to a guru to get shaktipated, then you're not anti-fragile. Whereas what the Buddha gave us is a method that is entirely in our own control. So when you learn this, you become your own guru. The technique becomes your own guru, and you can use it to travel within, and you'll be able to use it for the rest of your life. And this 10 days is just about you learning it enough so that you can use it for the rest of your life. That's all it is. It's not about what happens in this 10 days. Amazing things can happen. It's about you integrating it so deeply within yourself that you can carry it with you wherever you go. I remember after my first course, I knew I had learned something revolutionary and something amazing. And so I went back and I planned to quit my job in 3 months and then go back to live at the center afterwards. But I couldn't do the 3 months. I quit after 1 month and I went back. And I said to myself, I will not leave this center until I have this technique in my bones. Because I knew it's what I've been looking for the 9 years before that I've been practicing. And I've been figuring out my own forms of meditation, like a caveman rubbing sticks together trying to make fire. And then I did Vipassana, and it's like someone had given me a full-formed combi oven. And I could cook things like that. I'm entirely convinced it works. I know it works. I've seen it work for me, my family, the people I love, and now tens of thousands of other people that I've either watched go through courses or taught myself. But you shouldn't believe me, because that's just me talking. You need to experience it for yourself. And the only way you're going to do that is by giving it a proper test and using it for yourself. Everything I'm saying could be nonsense, because I'm also not a guru, and I don't want to be anyone's guru. I'm just someone who's experienced this technique deeply enough that it absolutely transformed my life. To the point where I used to teach it for free sitting on the side of the road. And I always said that however much money I made, whatever else I did, I would continue to teach it for free. Just because it's changed me so much. And so as you learn it, you're going to realize that the Buddha actually did something marvelous for us. He allowed us to be able to travel that infinity within, the second infinity. And by you being able to travel that, you'll be able to discover what he discovered, which is that the cause of our suffering isn't that we don't have ayahuasca or cocaine or heroin or sugar or love on tap. It's our habit patterns. And our habit patterns are anchored within us because we're consistently reactive to what's going on inside. Because some of us here, and some people very close to me actually, are or have been addicts to a lot of those drugs that I talk about. Some people are addicts to sugar. Some people are addicts to love or the approval of others. But every single one of us is an addict to the same thing. We're an addict to sensation. Because all those other things are doing is giving us a sensation that we want and taking us away from a sensation that we don't want. It's as simple as that. And that's why it takes a simple technique to address it. And what we're going to do over the next 10 days is we're going to travel deeper and deeper into ourselves to be able to find all the sensations that we're reactive to and to learn to be able to feel them deeply and not react to them. And let's clear it up right at the beginning, that by not reacting to them, we don't mean minimizing them. We don't mean suppressing them or controlling them. We mean letting them be completely what they are and becoming broad enough ourselves to feel them. That's how we let them be. If you need to defend against something, it can be of risk to you. You're signaling that it's of risk to you. If you can accept something fully, then it means it's no risk. You can take it. And so over the next 10 days, you're going to learn two things. You're going to learn the ability to feel yourself on a very acute level, to the point where your awareness will be so sharp that you couldn't believe it could get to that point before you'd experienced it. Where you get way beyond the skin, the blood, and the nervous system into the things beneath that. And secondly, you're going to learn to be able to feel everything that brings up and to learn to be able to not react to it. Because that's how we keep on traveling. If at any point you choose to react, that's where your awareness locks. And it stops the journey within. And then although there may be an infinity within, there's not an infinity for you. There's just the heartbeat. Or that memory you had of your granddad when he was 5 years old that brought up a bittersweet sorrow. Or whatever it is that you're going through personally. Vipassana shows us that we're like a building with an elevator running up it. And we can catch that elevator up to each of the floors. But when the door opens and we see what's outside, it's our choice to walk out. Maybe it opens on one floor and we've got painful memories. It opens on another and we've got fantasies. It opens on another and it's got our aspirations and our dreams. It opens on another and it's got all our experiences with love, both the positive and the negative. And it keeps going. And if any of those things can make you get out of the process of meditation, that means that you become reactive. And it means you're solidifying your experience there. So the 10 days is an opportunity for you not to be swamped by other stimulus so that you can focus on what you're carrying within. Just like when you fast and you stop eating for 10 days, or if you stop eating for a day, if you haven't done 10 days, your body goes into autophagy. It starts to eat up the things inside. We're producing cancer all the time, if you didn't know it. It's not that someone has cancer and someone doesn't have cancer. It's that when we go into autophagy, our body can eat it up and it can start to get rid of it. And sometimes it stops doing that and the cells survive. The 10 days is you fasting, not just from food, but you fasting from all the stimulus that you would normally feed yourself, so that we can clean ourselves out from the inside out. And then when we've done that, when we've reduced the noise, we can open up the lid and see, what else do we have inside? What is there here when I stop distracting myself? What is there here when I stop feeding myself more? What have I accumulated over 20, 30, 40, 50 years of living? What's in the box? And that's when we can really start to travel, because we can filter through all those habit patterns that we've constructed ourselves of. And that's what we're all addicts of. As Joe Dispenza puts it, we're all habits of being ourselves. And this is the opportunity for you to break the habit of being yourself, to learn to be able to feel what you're made of and not react to it, and to travel through it instead. Guru not necessary. You can do this all alone. All you need is the technique, and you can go all the way. I always quote something on these courses that I read in a book about money by Tony Robbins, which is that whether you're buying a Mars bar at a convenience store or you're investing in stocks and shares, you're still an investor. You're still choosing to put your money somewhere. It's just whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, and skillfully or unskillfully. But every person in this room is an investor. Our awareness is exactly the same. Every single person in this room is an investor of awareness. Every one of you is choosing where to put every increment of your awareness all the time. Whether you're choosing to let that be distracted and pulled away by something else, unconsciously, or whether you're consciously choosing where to put it, it makes no difference. We're all the same. And what Vipassana teaches us to do is it teaches us to consciously and skillfully invest our awareness. And what we're going to do at the beginning of this course is we're going to pull back all of your capital. All of that awareness that you've let be invested in different things, you're going to pull it back. So you've got your capital, and you can choose to start from scratch. Where do I want to invest all of this? Where do I want my mind to go? And the technique to do that sounds so simple it's ridiculous, but now you'll understand what it is that we're attempting to achieve. How we're going to start to do that on day 0 and day 1 is everyone is simply going to start to feel the breath beneath their nostrils. And that's the natural breath, the normal breath, not the regulated breath, not the controlled breath. You're going to let your breath be as natural as possible, whether it's deep or shallow, whether it's calm or agitated. Just let it be exactly what it is. Your job isn't to control it. Your job is to simply feel it. How does that pull back our investment? How does that pull all of our awareness? Because when you choose to focus on anything, you're going to notice that your mind gets pulled in different directions. And so the breath is the thing that we're choosing to focus on for lots of reasons that we'll get into later. But we're focusing on the breath, and you're going to see, does my mind stay on the breath or not? If it does, congratulations. You have good control over where you're investing your awareness. If it doesn't, notice what's pulled your mind away. Is it a sensation? Is it a memory? Is it a sound? Is it a hope or a fantasy? Every one of those things that you notice tugging your mind away, your awareness away, is one of your investments. It's one of the things that you've invested a portion of your awareness in that now has a piece of your capital. And every time it can pull you away, it's proving that it has control over you. It has power over you. If that's the case, don't be upset. It's just day 0. All you need to do is you need to feel where that thing is pulling you, and without finishing the thoughts, without exploring it, without going further into it, just pull your awareness back, straight to your breath. Note what it was that distracted you and come back to your breath. Don't get upset. That's adding another layer of reactivity. That's making another investment. Just come back, feel your breath, and let go of what was pulling you away. Let it be like a cloud in the sky, just passing by. Yes, you can see it, but it has no control over you. It may obscure the sun for a minute, but eventually it will pass. The sun is still there. By you doing this, you're going to do 2 things. 1, you're going to identify all the things that you're still reactive to. All the things that still have control over your mind and can pull you in different directions. And you're going to notice something. There's not 1,000,000 of them. There's not even 100,000 of them. There may be lots of them, but there's only a few types of them. And when you notice, oh, that's another memory of my father. Oh, another memory of my past. Oh, that's another sensation that distracted me. Oh, that's another fantasy. you start to notice there's only a few buckets. And once you realize there's only a few places you've invested and you're aware of them, those forces lose control, lose the ability to control you. And then you can do the second thing, which is you accumulate your awareness. As you focus here beneath the nostrils, as we're going to learn in a few minutes, you're going to start to feel this presence of awareness accumulate beneath them. And you're going to start to collect everything here. And slowly or not so slowly, you'll notice that all the distractions lose their power to pull you away. And you're going to start to condense and gather your awareness here. That's your raw capital that we're going to choose to invest later in the course. So pull as much of it back now as you can. We talked a little bit about the structure of this course. The 8 hours in the morning where you're going to be left alone to do whatever you want to do. There's a very important reason for that. I've wanted to run a course like this for the last 5 or 10 years since I first had this idea. And that's because one thing always seemed slightly out of sync in the way that I was teaching or others were teaching Vipassana. And it's not that it's wrong, because it produces great results. It's that we need to put people in this prison to practice. We need to tell them, you're stuck here, and you have to follow these rules for 10 days, and this is the way it's going to work. And it does work, because we cut people off from the outside world and stimulus. But then the same thing kept on happening. First, just with a few people I'd talked to, and then later, after I knew thousands of people like that, it started to accumulate more and more. That so many people went deep on the courses, but those same people found it hard to anchor the practice in their day-to-day life. These people would have amazing peak experiences. They would have transformations. And then they go back to their lives, and they wouldn't be able to practice deeply. Slowly, they'd lose the ability to do that. And only a small percentage of people keep up the practice, and not only keep it up, accelerate and go deeper, which is what every teacher wants. You want the students to go deeper and further than you've taught them. And I saw this with the other traditions first, and then I see it with the people I've taught myself. And one of the big reasons is that on the course, you give up the semblance of control. You give up the semblance of autonomy. It's like you're in this course now, and we're looking after you, and we're making choices for you, and you get to practice. But that's just an illusion. You're always in control. It's the one thing that no one can take away from you. You have free will. You can do whatever you want. You could choose to get up right now and walk out of this room, and it would be your choice. Someone could choose to forcibly stop you, but then it's your choice to fight back. And Vipassana, at the core of it, teaches us that we're free. So I don't feel we should learn something from the standpoint of not being free from the beginning. You're free. And so if you wake up at 4, 5, 6, you have 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours to do what you want with your day. And you can exercise that freedom. So that when you do leave this very beautiful prison, but a prison albeit, and you go back to your life, you've already had enough time practicing in your own space, flexing that muscle of autonomy to know that you can do it yourself. You don't need a guru. You don't need me. You don't need the asthana. You don't need a group of people to meditate with. You can do it all on your own. And that's what you should use your mornings for, to show yourself that. Because what you're going to find is that the technique is going to teach you that on deeper and deeper layers. Things that you thought were ingrained parts of your character, you're going to realize on this journey were choices. Whether you made them consciously or unconsciously. You made a choice to accumulate the habit patterns that make you the person you are. And the deeper you can go with that choice, the deeper you can change. So thank you all for choosing to be here, because I know it can be difficult, but it can also be beautiful and wonderful. Like a lot of things in life, you've got to be willing to go through the difficulty and the pain to get to that point. And that's what we're going to do. Hopefully, there'll be more beauty than difficulty and pain. Let's see how quickly we can get into that. The Buddha's teaching was open source from the beginning. He didn't try to own anything. Even when he first started to teach, he didn't say that he discovered this technique. He said that he rediscovered it. And every being that approaches enlightenment discovers the same technique. He just went to the other side, learned it again, and came back and brought it and gave it to us. He didn't make a religion. He didn't even make a school. He would get funded, or he would just sit in a field to teach whoever was there. And then he would tell them, go away and practice on your own. Go to a forest, go to a mountain, go to a cave, and find a space to practice. So nobody owns Vipassana. It's something that was taught freely from the beginning. And when you have it, it's entirely yours. And so Vipassana is not a religion. It's a technique. And it's a technique that you can all choose to use how you see fit once you learn it. Because I can teach you the technique, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to teach it to you imperfectly. Because I am imperfect. I've learned it, and it works for me, and I know what I'm doing. But I remember when my mom was first teaching me how to drive, and she was just driving around explaining things to me when I was a teenager. This is how you do it. She would stop sometimes, and she couldn't remember how to do something. And it's something she did every day, hundreds of times. Shifting gears, the way that you push and pull on the accelerator and the brake. But she'd have to stop and think, oh, how do I actually do this? Because she hadn't thought about it for the last 25 years since she learned. Vipassana is like that. You're going to learn the method, and it's going to work for you, and you're going to be able to navigate it. But the only way you're going to get there is through your own direct experience. I can tell you how to do it. I can tell you this is the method, but you have to learn to apply it correctly. And so every teacher that teaches Vipassana is going to teach it to a degree imperfectly. And you have to take those instructions and you have to apply them to yourself and practice them so much that you know what the thing is that's being referred to. You develop that unconscious competence that comes where you're not even sure how to explain it to someone, but you know exactly what you're doing. You've got the reflex of it. That's where I want to get you through these 10 days. I want to get you to the point where Vipassana is automatic for you. And if I was going to go even further, I would say Vipassana isn't even really a technique. Vipassana is actually what we're all doing all the time. All the time we're using our awareness. We're just either doing it consciously or unconsciously, skillfully or unskillfully. And when we sit in this hall, all we're going to practice is how to do it consciously and skillfully. And then when you go outside, when you go back to your life, that's when you're actually practicing it. And you're seeing, have I learned this? Is this ingrained in me? Do I have this in my head or do I have it in my bones? And I want you to have it in your bones. Because every day when we walk around, we're choosing to focus on stimulus. We're interacting with people and we're reacting to them. We're responding to them. And you're going to find that when you close your eyes and you sit there and meditate, it's not very different. All your experience is going to come back to you. And you're going to have the choice whether to react to them or not. And so you had this 0 to 1 choice in these first few days when we practice of whether to react to your internal world or to meditate. And the more you meditate in these first few days, the more we can start to be able to use that awareness appropriately later in the course. So see how much of your awareness you can collect. Let's all start to do it now. A few things in the beginning. If anyone has glasses on or their hair tied up, then take them off or loosen up your hair. Because you'll accumulate sensation at the back of your head if your hair is tied up. And the glasses resting on your face will be the same thing.